Given the grotesque and ever-increasing censorship of anyone that is not an approved gatekeeper, I'm very much trying to enlarge my alt-tech footprint, as the things that one is permitted to speak on mainstream platforms is getting slimmer and slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. So please check the links in the description to other platforms. Several of those, including BitChute, Odyssey, and Rumble, contain exclusive videos not usually seen on YouTube. So see you over there for the next video. As a person that likes to pride himself as a cultural critic, as a man with the pulse of the nation, this is quite honestly one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Yes, Ben can talk and talk very quickly and rattle off any number of approved conservative talking points on an assortment of topics, but quite frankly, in the post-truth America of today, it's quite evident that it is the reverse, and that for most of the population, feelings don't care about your facts. You can see this in almost every facet of discourse in America today, and the country is a country that is in steep decline, a decline that is quite evident for anyone with eyes to see, ears to hear, and a mind to think. So over the next few minutes, I'll tell you why this is and also offer you my thoughts on real-world solutions for you being a person trapped in a post-truth society that cares nothing about facts and only about who is the most hysterical. Stick with me.
Did you know that reality is an illusion? Most of what you believe is the result of psychological operations by corporate and government personnel. Protect yourself from these psychops. Buy this unique t-shirt today and let the world know your mind is free and that the brainwashing has failed.
So many are demoralized, so many are dazed and confused, and now so few seem to even care anymore, as we have endured some of the worst psychological terrorism to ever be seen in human history. Most have resigned themselves to just laying down and letting all of this run its course, accepting the new levels of debasement and of control. What this past year has shown me is that people will put up with all manner of abuse for a very long time, so long as their bellies are full and the power stays on. In fact, over the past 12 months, we have seen destabilization of the likes not seen in a century. C-19 and the response to it has shattered the previous world order, and there are those that mean to remake it, or to be more accurate, to reset it. Consider this: over the past year, governments, in response to C-19, knowingly imploded not only national economies, but the world economy. All of this was calculated, all of this was foreseeable, and all of this was eminently on purpose. Also, over the past year, 100 million Americans at least have woken up to see that their system of government, their economy, and their culture, that many previously believed still had some integrity, is actually been shown to be totally rigged against them. What the real story here over the past year is the establishment knows this, they understand this, but they simply do not care. Also over the past year, large tech companies working together have stifled any mention of the outcome in November or thoughts on C-19 or the response to it, and they've become busy little bees, deplatforming anyone that has opinions that run contrary to the Democrat, big business, and global finance cartel. They even managed across Google, Twitter, Facebook, Spotify, and others to censor and deplatform a sitting U.S. president. Let that sink in. We're now about a quarter into the year, and the nation is now transfixed, is absolutely obsessed with regards to the death of a single man in Minneapolis, and has turned it into something akin to a reality TV show, with facts, as Ben say, or he likes to say, having no place in the discussion. Decisions have already been made by the media and by celebrities. This circus is about feelings, and feelings don't care about your facts. Facts and reality have no place whatsoever in this manufactured circus of the moment. Now it is about people chastising those that don't share in this current mass hysteria. And to say this is anything but a wedge created by the mainstream media to the detriment of all is to lack the awareness of a head of lettuce. Not trying to disparage lettuce, but for example, in the same month that Mr. Floyd died, that being May 2020, in Chicago, 409 people were shot, and 85 of those were murdered. Actually, 18 people in Chicago were murdered in a single day, that being Sunday, May 31st, 2020. If this current debacle in the United States hasn't been manufactured, name one of those 85 people. And in the circus that is a post-truth America, things get ever more ludicrous, or better, depending on your point of view. News out yesterday was that in order to save President Biden the disgrace, to save him the humiliation, to save him the embarrassment of his videos, all of his videos being continually and without exception mass downvoted, it was reported that YouTube is now removing the dislike button. The reason, one can speculate, but most likely it is yet another attempt to conjure the same illusion that a man that could not fill a school gymnasium of supporters on the campaign trail is somehow the most popular president in American history. It might also serve a second purpose, and that is to help resuscitate the reputation of mainstream media videos with their talking heads that are titans in their own minds of integrity that the silly peasants, the silly plebs clearly dislike. And it is also of note that these mainstream videos have to be algorithmically boosted to have any audience whatsoever. And with this change, with the downvote button, they can have their pages cleaned up and, in their minds, their reputations restored. Or so again they think. Jolly good show, I guess. The thing to understand, the thing that is clear, is that this is never going to stop. This is just the beginning. And this is also why alt tech is so important. So again, please see the links in the description and follow me on what is left of platforms where you're allowed to speak without significant amounts of censorship. Because the message coming out of the establishment is clear. You will love Joe Biden. You will love getting jabbed and tagged. You will watch whatever new woke reboot of whatever franchise Disney has served up to you, and you will like it. You will trust the media. You will be a good consumer. Now, all of this leads me to wonder, do Americans have a red line? There is very little doubt that there are tens of millions of people that are hopelessly brainwashed by the system and will never be reachable. But over the past several years, it's been my experience that many people are waking up, if somewhat slowly. And many of these people are talking about solutions such as accelerationism or believing that a collapse is imminent. For example, the social commentator Tim Pool, and as I understand he sells prepper material to his viewers, is among many that believe a hard collapse of society is imminent. While I would agree with him that civilizations do run in cycles, what I think he misunderstands is that the systems that govern our current society are so integrated and in such a web that a great collapse is not going to happen ever. What we are in the midst of is not a collapse, but a slow burn, a slow, painful decline in which many of the sane of this world are being driven mad. Spectacular collapses or great collapses don't happen. Rome, for example, took 200 years to collapse after several civil wars. The hegemon of today, the United States, using the magic of the Federal Reserve and its military, is more than capable of withering away on autopilot for a very long time. Granted, the U.S. collapse or balkanization will be much faster than Rome because of modern communication and economic transactional speeds. But when you're looking at historical precedents, collapses don't just arrive. And it doesn't just have an apex followed by a sudden drop. Again, it's a decline, a degradation, a slow burn, a retreat. What I am saying is that you shouldn't rely on and you shouldn't hope for a sudden collapse or a great collapse to burst this cycle of civilizational decline and clearly civilizational insanity. The current paradigm that we are in right now is predicated as one of social demoralization. What you have to do is restore sanity in your own life first, so you can hold out for however long this long decline in society that is built on the shoulders of lies and cognitive dissonance takes, and it will take its natural course. Sanity is the currency, and sanity is the wealth of today that you need to preserve. First and foremost, you need to preserve sanity in yourself going into this winter of discontent. Your defiance comes in the form of rejecting this end cycle of depravity and insanity draped in lies and untruths. What's clear is that a lot of things can change in a few short years, but some things never change. Each generation has their particular flavor of insanity to contend with. Ours just happens to be a war on reality itself. But just like gravity, you can only argue with reality for so long. In the end, reality always wins. Much like an elastic band, you can pull it, you can stretch it, you can bend it, but it always snaps back. And the further you pull on it, the harder it snaps back. So then, looking at the big picture at the coming year and beyond, revelation is that sanity in an insane world is the greatest thing that you can possess. Hone your skills, learn as much as you can. Don't let those infected by the ignorance of this cycle of a broken society in decline influence you. Ignorance may be bliss, but revelation is truly divine. Consider ways to help extricate yourself and your family from this period of strife. Homeschooling, homesteading, trying to make yourself as independent from the system as possible. Make yourself location independent. Live near like-minded people. There are many things that you can do. Tell me what you think some solutions to our current predicament are, and leave your ideas in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please consider supporting the channel, and you can do that in a variety of ways. Links are in the description. Or if you want to get yourself a cool t-shirt, a link to that is also in the description. See you next time. Bye-bye.